with me? Hey, did I lie? Did I fucking lie?
Here I am. Here we are. Yes, another week.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode, or I should say a special episode of On the Line. Basically, what today's episode is going to be is that I'm just jumping on the line real quick to give you an insight into what's going on throughout the week. So I just want to talk a little bit about the VMAs. I also have a very special guest coming on right after, Adam Barta. He's going to be coming in and he's going to be talking about his brand new show, The Dish, which premieres today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And plus, you know, me being a Virgo and him being a Virgo, because I'm going to ask him, because his birthday is actually the 21st. Yes, I did my research. I'm going to ask him about this whole J-Lo story, which I'm going to talk about right afterwards. Apparently, she don't like Virgos. But you can't take us. But anyway, see, we got that and a whole lot more. But in the meantime, for those of you who are watching, please smash that like button. So at the Chris Avalon, be sure to follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, the Tiki Talkie, and all my social media platforms. Yes, I am the Chris Avalon. So it's easy to find. And definitely follow me for all the latest on what's going on in entertainment news, all the gossip. And I even talk about adult films, child. So, and all my interviews and stuff that I'm going to be trying to do in the next couple of months, because, you know, fall is coming. I'm trying to bag a bunch of interviews for the year and beyond. So, without further ado, let's get into our first topic, which was the VMAs. Now, I was not looking forward to seeing it, because usually every year the VMAs is tired, it's late, it's through, they don't really be given what needs to be given. However, every year I feel obligated, because being a part of media, that I have to sit and watch it. And just as I thought, child was trash and a half. Now, there were some moments that I liked, and I think the big moments that we needed to talk about would be Nicki Minaj and, of course, Bad Bunny. But before we get to that, okay, now, the pre-show, I would have to say, was fucking boring. Okay, so I don't even know who performed, child. Well, I remember there was a couple of people that was on the red carpet. They was not given what needs to be given. Even Lil Nas X was disappointed, and I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, Lil Nas X basically wore Iman's Met Gala look from a year before. The only difference was his was in black and hers was in gold. So you really didn't push the genre or the boundary of like, okay, if you're gonna be a full-on homosexual pop star, bitch, I need you to bring it. But you basically just recycled something that Iman wore to the red carpet on the VMAs or whatever fucking color it was. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Lizzo came dressed like a fucking hefty bag. And shout out to the people that, you know, when I put that out there, I was in category is hefty bag realness. And I live for my followers, my friends. I like to call y'all my friends. I live for y'all, because basically what y'all did was somebody went and created a hefty bag meme and posted it right on my timeline. And of course, I had to screen grab it and I posted it on social media. So shout out to y'all. I love that. You know what? I have to say that I live for the fact that the people that follow me are just as shady and messy as I am, in good fun. Sometimes y'all do take it a little far, but for the most part, I live for y'all being as messy as I am. And you know, it's all in good fun though. Like, we're not trying to be, you know, messy, just shady messy and fierce messy. But so yeah, I know Kevin Aviance, he responded on my page. He was like, He liked it. Okay, girl, if you like it, I love it. But I just felt like it just didn't look good on Lizzo. I actually liked her cone bra gown that she wore when she received her award. The one where she threw shade at Aries Spears without mentioning his name. First of all, when I look at Aries Spears, why does he look like he got attacked by a rabid fox? Did y'all see that? There was a viral video that went around, like this lady was outside on her phone smoking or doing whatever. I think she was just talking on the phone. And a fox with rabies ran up on her and literally attacked her. That's what he gives me when I look at him. Like he was attacked by a rabid animal and he just be foaming at the mouth. But there's nothing worse than somebody who's ashy and fat and you breathing heavy sitting, got the nerve to talk about somebody else. That's a big girl. Like where they do that at? But nevertheless, I was not impressed with any of the outfits. Jack Harlow performed his one hit, in the little fake airplane. It was good to see all the celebrities, especially Avril Lavigne. I grew up with that girl, so seeing her up in there, and she didn't look like she ain't aged at all. So seeing Jack Harlow come out, I did like the fact that he brought out Fergie because that's like nostalgia. So paying homage, he's been doing his homework ever since he got dragged by Brandy. It's like Jack been doing his homework. So shout out to that little performance. Speaking of which, when he and Lil Nas X won the award, did y'all get like that same vibe, like them two be fucking behind the scenes? Like I got the hunching vibe from them. Like he be slinging that dick. That's what I feel like I be getting from, Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow. Like they be hunching for real.
We need you on the backdrop though, Nas. A little more on the backdrop. Nas,
Well, I didn't see anything there, but I guess we'll get it working. I'm trying to remember what else happened that night. I don't know. I wasn't really excited about any of the performances. I don't think like the performances gave what they'd be given. Yeah, with Lizzo did her performance. We've seen that before with the interaction with the screen and all that other stuff. We've seen that with Beyonce when she did Run the World. I'll forget what award show she did it on, but it just looked like Lizzo just got to rehearsal an hour prior to performing and basically just was like, okay, let me just pick up what I can and let me just go out there. Like it felt very much like you were auditioning to be a dancer in your own show and you got to learn the choreography in 10 minutes and get out there and basically perform. The performance, like I said, wasn't memorable at all. I did love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, them getting their flowers. And to me, I'm going to get to them in a minute, but I like their performance because I need to talk about Nicki Minaj before we get to the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing. So, speaking of which, Nicki Minaj won the, I don't know what they call it now because y'all be trying to call it the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, but then y'all want to take Michael Jackson's name off it and just call it Video Vanguard because y'all want to play yourselves in regards of the whole, molestation, whatever. I don't know what the reason was why they be trying to take his name off shit, but I'm gonna still call it what it is. It's the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. So she won the award. She finally got her flowers. However, I feel like that, yes, Nicki Minaj does belong as part of the conversation when it comes to talking about music videos and how she has pushed the boundaries of visuals in her videos. She has done that. And I did like the fact that she performed, Bones of Rens, Chung Lee, Moment for Life, Bees, and that trap. Super Bass, she performed all her big pop hits. However, the way that the VMAs put that together felt very much how I felt when I first heard that she was winning the award. It felt very much like y'all decided this at the last minute and y'all tacked this on and y'all just gave it to her. Like, it didn't feel like this was something that was planned in advance. It felt very last second. The performance, yeah, it was cute to see Nicki up there doing her best to dance and give the choreography and stuff. However, Miss Mamas don't twerk. Like, I need to take her, like, I almost felt like I wanted to personally take her down to the fictional Chuckalisa, down to the Pank, and teach this bitch how to twerk. Because, girl, it wasn't given what needed to be given. I don't know if it was the implants, I don't know, or maybe you just got no rhythm. Look, I know it's hard for some of y'all to believe, but there are lots of black people I know that do not know how to do a two-step. They do not know how to dance. So it is a stereotype when y'all be out here thinking that black folks can dance. No, not all. And she was a perfect example of that. But it was cute that she actually, did what needed to be done, and she gave as much as she could with what was given. So let the dancers do all the work. As far as like the male dancers, it felt very much like She stole all the dancers from Secret Celebrity Drag Race, all the men, and basically had her behind her. Not that I was complaining, because that was a lot of eye candy. So seeing her, you know, up there performing this at the third, it was cute. Now, as far as like, okay, let's talk about the outfit. Almost forgot. That stage outfit, whoever her stylist is, bitch, I hope you fired his ass after y'all was done. Because for him to have, or her, but most likely it's a queen, with no taste, and probably colorblind, or just blind in general, when he went and whoever put her together, that outfit was a mess. First of all, it did not, like, okay, she put on some weight. I get it. She's a woman of a certain, she's 39. She just had a baby. I don't believe in that whole where a lot of these girls have to perpetuate a certain body image so that way y'all don't read them on being, you know, gaining a little weight or whatever. So for her to actually get out there and at that hour, it was giving very much RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race season 1. Like, y'all would just get, that outfit was not cute. Y'all, it was unflattering. How y'all had her with the JoJo Siwa bow in her head. You had her wearing an Ice Capade skirt. Like, it looked the fabric looked very, very Project Runway cheap. I was not, the whole outfit was a mess. And it was hilarious because I did not know this until a friend of mine posted on social media. I was like, ooh, bitch, I gotta steal it. Little Kim wore an outfit similar. And I'm like, first of all, both outfits was a mess. So it didn't even matter if Little Kim wore it and she took it the inspiration, whatever the case was. The outfit was not giving on neither one of them. Yeah, Little Kim's waist was a little more cinched, and she probably had to take out a couple of ribs from Dr. Miami, who I know Adam is about to go do an interview with after he with us, and I'm gonna ask him about Dr. Miami when he comes on. This whole outfit was a no. The contacts was a no. The bow was a no. I did live for the wig though. The wig was cute. The outfit was not. Like, to me, it's like, if you're a 39-year-old woman, you should not have her dressing like she's about to go dance back up for Katy Perry. Like, that was, it just, the outfit was just not given. It should, you know, she should not be dressing like she's 13 or 14. This is a grown-ass woman. So I was not liking the outfit. Speaking of Lil' Kim, the overall disrespect of that speech. Now, I know everything is very calculated with Miss Minaj. Let's not be mistaken. And I know the barbers will try to make 1,000 goddamn excuses for her. Like, y'all can do that shit to the gals. Come on, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say on my own goddamn channel. So y'all can suck my ass, the shit out my ass with a straw. Let's bring on back. Cause I'm on one right now. This damn Red Bull is sending me. Yeah, honey. And they ain't sponsoring this. But you know, it's got me up. So it's up and it's up and it's up and okay, let me stop. Speaking of Cardi, you know, what I would have liked personally, I get it. But it was cute to have, you know, for them to dig up a couple of barbs out their basement and from behind their phones, you know, the Twitter thugs, social media, you know, bandits, find a couple of y'all and have y'all give her the award. That was cute. But to me, as someone who has watched award shows for a long time and has been to a couple, you know, with me back in the day, working with VH1 and being in and out of the industry and having those opportunities of going to award shows and working behind the scenes, to me, the way that I've seen how a lot of these shows work, it's very, that validation that you get from your peers, especially when you've been in the game for 15 years. And yes, we can say what we want. Little Kim has, yes, set the blueprint. Nicki took the blueprint and went further with it. So I give her kudos for that. Nobody can take that away from her. However, you should have gave Little Kim her flowers. You gave Mariah Carey her flowers. I know you're beefing with Kanye, so you gave him your flowers. Because then she throw shade at him recently. So you was giving flowers to a lot of people that you had beefs with, that you haven't made amends with, but you couldn't give it to Little Kim when you basically taken her blueprint and you ran with it. Which a lot of artists do. A lot of artists are inspired by people. And I was gonna get to that. Thank you for reminding me. And you basically, and she threw shade at Missy Elliott, but I knew this because I pay attention. You know, I be all over the social medias. There was a post that came out a week prior, where Missy Elliott asked a question about, I think, a hit song versus a classic. Like, what do y'all define as that? And I know in this day and age, because music and all that other stuff, we define these things in a different way. So we don't necessarily define, you know, my idea of what a classic is versus a hit is different from this generation. Y'all call motherfuckers icons, and they only put out one damn album and they only been out for like 3 months. I've seen it recently. I heard some idiot on the VMAs even calling I think Lil Nas X an icon. I'm like, what? First of all, he dropped the EP and the album. He is not a goddamn icon. Someone who I consider an icon is Beyonce. Beyonce been doing this for almost 3 decades. Britney Spears, I would consider an icon. She's been doing this for almost, you know, over 20 years. When I look at icons, I look at Madonna. I look at J-Lo. I look at all these girls that have been doing it for a long time. That's an icon. I even consider Nicki Minaj an icon. Like, she's been doing this for a long time, and she's held her own without, you know, when she didn't have that competition. But to me, what I wanted to get to was, yeah, you should have gave Lil' Kim her flowers. I don't care how, you know, you talk about some damn Big Daddy Kane and Dougie Fresh and all these other people. Yeah, I knew them because I grew up with that music. However, you said them people, child, you were just being intentionally shady, and you snubbed Missy Elliott. And we know damn well you like Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott is an icon too, but I guess there was some shit that happened, I forgot, between, I think Queen Latifah and Missy said some shit online, and they was laughing at something, I guess at the benefit of Nicki, and Nicki was, you know, in her feelings, and decided to, you know, get feelaways. And I know that she gets like that. She's very sensitive. She's a Sagittarius child. So, not only that, you should have gave Lil' Kim her flowers, but also I was thinking, and I think Lil' Kim mentioned that. And then I saw on Sunday, it was trending. It was like, what about Lil' Kim? Or where's Lil' Kim? Something like that. I forgot what the actual tweet was. But Lil' Kim was trending. Because I even said after I heard it, I said, wait, no Lil' Kim? Sorry, my producer's a Sagittarius. And I literally just read Sagittarius on the show. But you know, I read everybody. I even read myself. Because if you can't read yourself, how in the hell are you going to read somebody else? That's what RuPaul should start saying. But anyway, so yeah. So my thing was, you know, she should have gave Lil' Kim her flowers. I don't care how shady you feel about people, but you were inspired by her. Let's not play. Don't play in my face. Or as my girl Judge Judy likes to say, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Also, what I would have liked was that there should have been people in the industry who came after her that should have been like, I love Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is the inspiration. Like, there should have been Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Cardi B, all these other rappers. But that's not going to happen because none of them like you. And you've had beefs with them in some way or another. So nobody's really talking about that. The fact that there's a lot of girls in the industry that have a problem with Nicki because of Nicki's attitude. So yeah, she wasn't going to get the people that come around, like, and I know she's hurt by the fact that she doesn't get the respect. So I know a lot of the Barbs and all these other people can sit around and say, oh, it don't matter about these stuff, these girls are relevant, blah, 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 blah. Y'all say that shit now, but I guarantee you, like me in media, and I've been doing this shit for almost 20 years. You may not have heard of me, you may not be aware, but yes, bitch, I've been doing this for almost 2 decades. Like, just about as long as Perez Hilton, in one way, shape, or another. Between Blogspot, my own website, losing my website, because I ain't want to pay that shit no more. Going to, you know, doing other, what was it? I went on Tribe, and then I came back to my website. So there's been many different manifestations. And I've been, you know, with being in media, I've always said, like, yes, it would feel good, the fact that, okay, I can get people to want to do what they need to do in regards of artistry and that sort of thing. But me, I would want my peers to be like, you know what? This kid, I was inspired by, he or she or they were inspired by me. And because of this person doing the things they've been doing, now it gave me the ability and the strength to want to go out and create my own website, my own podcast, my own, you know, entertainment YouTube show, a YouTube channel, whatever. So to get the flowers and the respect from your peers is just as valid as fans. Fans, yeah, they're loyal and they come and go, but I don't like me personally, I don't like a lot of yes people around me. I'm a Virgo, I don't like fake shit. So there are people who like minions and ass kissers and think that by you kissing they behind and doing this other stuff, I can't see me. They get all this other stuff. At the end of the day, that shit gets old. So I felt, to me personally, I think that the flowers, Nicki getting her flowers could have been done a lot better. I didn't feel like it was justified. Like it felt anticlimactic, I guess is the word. So shout out to her. Let me know what you guys thought of this speech. Did you think it was lackluster? Did you think that it was on point? Definitely leave your comments down below. Now let's get into this Bad Bunny thing. So now Bad Bunny closed out the show. Now I will have to say this. I actually bailed on I was like, I'm gonna stay till Nicki, and I'm gonna possibly try to stay to Bad Bunny. When I realized it was gonna leave him towards the end, I had to go. I had to turn on House of the Dragon. Cause that was, oh, how you doing? I know people trying to read the boy and say he was ugly. I don't think the dancer was ugly. Y'all tried it. First of all, it was a reason why he was doing the kiss. Y'all get so caught up in attraction. And first of all, beauty is in the eye of whoever is there to do whatever. Like, for what you think of somebody else's trash is somebody else's treasure. So I hate when people say people's ugly. Because some people could think you're hot shit. Another person could think you look like trash. So I try not to judge people when they look, unless it's warranted. You try to come for me, then I'm gonna read your ass. But anyway, so Bad Bunny performed. I think he closed out the show. I don't remember because I had to watch the performance on YouTube, so I didn't even know the whole kiss thing happened. So I saw a trend about it that he kissed the boy and he liked it. So he ended up being Artist of the Year. I think that he's the first in history to actually win the Artist of the Year award, because he's not American, he's Spanish speaking, and I think usually Americans win that shit. But anyway, so he actually was performing at, it's funny, they were in Jersey, he was over at Yankee Stadium, sold it out, by the way. So during his song Titi Pregunto, he performed that song, which is actually one of my favorite songs off the new album. He kissed a female and a male dancer on stage, which literally happened in quickly. I know people were trying to compare it to the Madonna, Britney kiss, Christina too, but we missed her. I think I posted on my Instagram stories the two versions of it, where you see the cut to Justin's face after she kisses him, and then there's a screen grab a video at the bottom of it without the Justin cut in it, so you actually get to see the Christina kiss. Because when we first saw that, Christina got the short end of the stick yet again. Such is her career and her life. No shade, but just saying. It's always seemed like Britney always was the one that was pushed, and Christina kind of like always took second best. But anyway, so people need to understand, like, I know a lot of people were accusing him of queerbaiting, which, if you really pay attention to Bad Bunny's career, Bad Bunny is someone who has, you could call it queerbaiting, but I feel like he's always been outspoken in regards to what goes on within the LGBTQ community, especially what's going on in Puerto Rico and the overall homophobia and the misogyny in hip hop. Yes, it exists in reggaeton. I listen to that. That's a genre of music I have been listening to for over 20 years. Like, I remember when I think I started listening to it, like I used to listen to, I started, with Daddy Yankee and Votio and so many artists, Don Omar and so many of those artists back then. And now it's progressed so much where we have, Daddy Yankee and, not Daddy Yankee, I just mentioned it. Where we have Bad Bunny and we have Anuel and we have, Wisin and Yandel. You also got J Balvin, who performed at the VMAs. Like, so, Raul Alejandro. Like, I listen to all those artists. Yes, I know my shit, bitch. So what people need to understand, they did the whole Wedding Bells thing, which is similar to what Madonna did. And, we was carrying a girl, and, there was a lot of similarities where I have to say that. But I think a lot of people don't understand what the song is about. Now, the song, with the context, is basically about having your aunties constantly asking you about your girlfriends during family gatherings. Now, I know, like, we can all relate to that in some sort of way where there's this ability where people think that, whenever you go to family, and when you got a girlfriend, when you gonna get married, when you're gonna do this, when you're gonna do that. And the worst part I hate about being gay is that we now have to deal with that pressure. The only one thing I love about being gay, we ain't gotta worry about getting married, we ain't gotta worry about having children. Now the shit's legal, which I'm all for. Like, people, you want to get married and you want to be able to get the same benefits as heterosexuals, be my guest. But not all of us fall in that category. I may change my mind down the road, but for now, the ability for me to say that that's not something that I'm interested in is, So, okay. So, what I wanted to say. Okay, so on that, hold on. Okay, so with that basically, so people were saying that he was basically trying to get attention and all this other stuff. And he's always talked about sexual fluidity. He's always mentioned that he's sexually fluid. He said down the road, I could end up with a man. Who knows? Which is true. But people need to realize that there are people I have met and people I know who have come out of the closet later on in life. So people tend to think that just because, I always knew when I was 5 that I wanted to, that I was gay. Well, good for you. There's some that are like that. There's some people who figure out, like Niecy Nash. All of a sudden, she didn't realize she liked coochie after she'd been done married 2 different men. And she came out in her 50s. So there are those who are exceptions. And I think we have to allow people to figure out who they are and discover who they are. Now, when we had the whole thing where they was dragging Harry Styles over a comment he made because he's in this new movie called My Policeman, and he said that his movie, unlike others in the past, because clearly he don't know a lot of gay people, and he's probably never seen enough movies with gay people in it, or gay-centered films, where he said there's a sense of love and tenderness in the love scenes. Well, I guess he's never seen Moonlight. Even though it was a little rough at times. He's never seen Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, they used, somebody got he spit on the dick before he stuck it up in Jake Gyllenhaal, and he just eating a can of beans. But at the same time, there was a sense of, there was a little tenderness every now and again, not in that tent scene, but throughout the movie when they had sex again, there was a sense of tenderness at times. So, and Noah's Ark, we've seen, tender sex scenes in that film. Chris Folk even had them. Yeah, there were times when, Brian was fucking everybody in Pittsburgh. But there were moments between him and Justin where there was a sense of love and tenderness. So, I don't know what Harry Styles was talking about, and I do feel like he was queerbaiting, and there's a couple of others, Nick Jonas. But for the most part, Bad Bunny is not a queerbaiter. He's always brought some stuff to attention. But I think what people were saying, and I didn't know about this, was that Bad Bunny, the reason why he kissed a male dancer at his show was because prior to, not too long ago, in Puerto Rico, there was an artist, Villano Antolano, who is a trans rapper, made out with Tokisha, who is a dembow rapper, and I believe I don't know if she's a lesbian or she's sexually fluid, but she even recently made out with Madonna at her Pride show that Laganja, performed at, and Bob the Drag Queen, a bunch of other girls from Drag Race. So they kissed on stage at a show in San Juan, and they received death threats. And yeah, so there was that. So I think that was the reason why he brought that up. But one of the things I do want to touch on is something that a friend of mine wrote, and then we're going to wrap this up. A friend of mine by the name of Jamie Sapero on Instagram said, OMG, Bunny kissed the boy. Remember when Adam Lambert and Lil Nas X did the exact same thing on stage? Y'all lost y'all rabid minds and said they were doing too much. When openly gay artists are gay on stage, y'all tell us to stop, but let a straight man do it, and it's art. And he says, NIF with Bad Bunny, I do, but I'd rather hear y'all talk about the protests and corruption in Puerto Rico he continues to try to bring awareness to, than praise him for doing something several openly gay men and women have done before him and done better. So yes, while there are a lot of those tropes were very cliched, I do feel like what I would love to see going forward, and this is why I do what I do on this show and I try to bring awareness to it, y'all need to support the out artists as much as y'all support these allies. Because for too damn long, y'all will tend to give all y'all coins to an ally, but then when the gays come out and do some stuff and want to bring awareness to things, crickets. Y'all don't support, you don't go out and watch these artists and perform and all this other shit. So y'all will sit up in here and y'all will give y'all, y'all coins to a Lady Gaga, because she says, sing faggots, and all this other mess, and nothing. So shout out to Bad Bunny. Shout out to everybody who's watching, and we are going to take a break, child. When we come back, we're going to come back with Adam Barta, and he's going to come on and talk about his brand new show, The Dish. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more On the Line. Take two.
You woke up tomorrow and you was a girl. What's the first thing you doing?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna go get fucked.
You letting the homies hit?
Hell yeah!
You just go straight to the niggas?
Straight to the niggas. Some niggas be toting them poles. That shit's scary.
Hi, my name is James. I'm 47 years old, I live in Boston, and I love coffee. Caffeine, it's my favorite thing.
Oh hi, it's Chia. I'm not really looking to date someone from Earth. I want to date someone from the planet Remulon.
Hi there, my name's Carol Della LaMonica. I'm 57 years old, I'm from Bronx, New York, and I'm looking for a man that I can meet that can be like my late husband Frank, God rest his soul. My ideal date would include taking a woman down a racetrack, getting in a car, and going as fast as we possibly can while running around the car and keeping up with it.
Chia's perfect date would probably involve eating hot dogs and going to see La Bouche in concert.
Aunt Carol's ideal date will probably be going down to the delicatessen and getting some nice chicken parm sandwiches because I love chicken parm.
He or she or it would be really tall, a pale shade of green, 7 fingers, 3 hearts.
Another day is another day.
Well, hey, we are back with On the Line. Oh, and that clip, that was out of Barta. We're about to introduce him in a second, so of course we had to throw that up in there. But before that, we played a little clip from the House of Mugler, or as Pray Tell says, Mugler. But anyway, so our next guest is an actor, musician, and reality star who has collaborated with celebrities such as Lisa Lampanelli, Eureka O'Hara, Tan Mom, and Honey Boo Boo. He is here tonight to discuss his latest project, The Dish, which is also produced in part along with Honey Boo Boo's mama, Mama June. And so we're going to get into that and a whole lot more. So please welcome the one and only Adam Barta. That was about Oprah. How you doing?
How you doing? What's going on?
Yes. Thank you for doing the show and stopping in. I did watch The Dish before I came on, because I like to watch things before I do an interview so it's fresh in my mind. So I literally watched it about an hour ago.
Oh my God. I hope you have alcohol. Or a pot or something.
No, I actually watched it sober.
Oh boy.
But
That's not the way to watch it, but let's see what you thought.
It was hilarious though. I definitely liked it, especially seeing Tamma. I was like, ooh, her boobs get bigger. But anyway, so for those who are not familiar with you, tell the viewers your name, where you're from, all that good stuff.
Hi, my name is Chia. I'm 47, and I'm from the planet Remulon. No, as you just saw, I forgot about that sketch. It was fun to rewatch that. No, I am a middle-aged producer here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm from the Bronx originally, and a lot of people know me from my former life, which was kind of this singer that I used to do all these viral duets with all these people like Honey Boo Boo, which is how we kind of wound up here today. So now I've sort of done a life change. I guess it really is a midlife crisis kind of thing, because I did it right at 40 is when I kind of pivoted out of music and dove into this world of like TV. And I mean, I kind of always did reality TV entertainment, but I kind of was never a producer and like this much in it before. And I kind of gave up the music, which was kind of a definite choice, I think, at this point.
And plus, I always say, there's a little longevity in doing TV as well. So when did you know that you wanted to get into the arts? Was it something you've always wanted to do, or something?
Yeah, I mean, I when I always say this, like I came out of the womb kind of singing and dancing. So like, ever since I was a little kid, I just remember being, am I going off the screen? Here we go. I'm trying to find my center frame. I should know that. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember just loving to do production. And it's funny because when I was a teenager, my dad passed away when I was 16. He gave me my first Sony camcorder. And with that camcorder, I used to make films. I was so in love with it. I would play with my VCR. I would literally edit back and forth with my VCR because we didn't have computers back then in the 1920s when I was born. But my dad really gave me this passion for it, and it kind of dropped out when he passed away. I kind of delved into music, and I did have a passion for doing music all these years. But that filmmaking passion really kind of just sat there for like, almost 30 years, and now it's just been reignited. So I'm so happy to share it with everyone.
Okay, so speaking of music, you've collaborated with the likes of infamous celebrities such as Nadia Suleiman, Tan Mom, Farrah Abraham, and Mariah Lynn, who I love her song. And I've been in it. I want your money. I want my money. I don't know whatever happened to her.
She's on WeTV. She was on some WeTV show. She bounced around and ever. I'm not surprised because I remember we were at one of the Real Housewives of New Jersey events, and I think we were trying to get her on that show. So I'm glad she wound up somewhere. She's a hustler though. She knows how to work it.
It would have been cute to have her on like a Real Housewives of New Jersey, but they try to make that family centric, and there can't be no fist fighting on it. Except, I guess, you could shake a table like Teresa does. But anyway, so the question pertaining to that is, because you work with so many infamous reality stars, how did those collaborations come about? And I remember also, because I didn't know this, but you got into it with Angelina from Jersey Shore.
Oh, girl, child. I don't even want to start on that because I won't be able to stop. But I don't. Well, okay. I don't even want to talk about it. What was the other question? I completely threw me off.
I would say, you do? Oh, I mean, why does her castmates do too? But I was saying, basically, how do the collaborations come about? You know, with your musical collaborations with, you know, Farrah Abraham, Tam Mom, Mariah Lynn, Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo. Well, I had a manager for years that I worked with. She was really amazing at, you know, getting kind of these controversial figures, and we would pair me together with them. You know, and the Octomom kind of was the first thing, and it kind of was a fluke. I was like, okay, like people are really care about this stuff. And then I sort of became this king of TMZ, where I was doing all these crazy viral songs with like Tan Mom and Farrah Abraham and, you know, Mama June and Honey Boo Boo and all these people. And, you know, then everyone was doing it because everyone was trying to do it. And it became to the point where it wasn't fashionable because it was so trite and everyone was just trying to do like a crazy viral duet song, you know, and then Housewives started doing it and yet everyone was doing their own song. So I kind of like to think of myself as like the forefront of that genre that we have now, this like sort of trash pop where it's like just anybody singing a song because they're on TV, you're like reality TV famous. And it really is a genre because there's like so many artists and songs. I mean, with Drag Race alone, there's so many songs I think you could have. And when I say trash, I mean good songs. Like the Drag Race songs are some of the best. I'm talking about trash like people consider it's like, you know, pop culture trash or whatever. It's like not serious or whatever. But I think it's gold, some of this music. Some of it is trash. Like some of my own music is trash, I'll admit that. But, you know, as long as if it's making people laugh, then that's all that really matters, right? So
yeah, I mean, look, I always say like any kind of art, music, whatever, it's subjective. So, like I said about people's looks and all this stuff earlier, one person's trash, another one's treasure. Like I could hate a song till the cows come home. Like there was what was that white child that was on? Oh, sorry. There was this guy, that Young Gravy. I don't know what the hell that was on the VMAs. Yet and still, the kids was liking it. They took a sample from an old song from the '90s. I cannot remember what song it was. It was just so bad I can't remember it. But I just remember that it was.
I have to talk about the VMAs. I made notes actually here. I'm gonna like to close my.
Oh yeah, I was even gonna ask you about it. But since we're going there, what did you think?
So for me, first of all, I didn't watch it, and it's not because when I stepped out
of
the music world, I made a conscious choice to, you know, when I stepped out of the music world, to not involve myself so much with it and not see, you know, kind of like, and I think it was for my own sanity. It's like more like I'll watch the Oscars and the Emmys and all that stuff. But what I found was I think the whole event was kind of a rehash of like things that have been done. And you said somebody wore Lizzo wore garbage bags.
Yeah.
Missy did that. I mean, Missy invented
25 years ago.
Missy invented that look. Exactly. You said that Avril Lavigne came on looking exactly the same. There are theories that Avril Lavigne is a robot, which is a whole nother thing. Go Google that. It's subreddit. It's something. But you know, and The Kiss, like with Adam Lambert, Madonna, like all these people for Bad Bunny. So to me, it's just kind of like a rehashing or inventing of the same story, because what the VMAs are is just a show. It's literally a show, and that's what people forget. They think it's like reality in real life, and oh my god, this happened, and it's literally a show. Every moment that happens is pre-planned and has to be. I just did live TV with A&E. It's very strict. You can't go off book there. Like you'll get in a lot of trouble. So a lot of the stuff that people think is so crazy really comes down to what is the show trying to tell, you know? And it's a story. So there's a story where you were talking about Nicki getting the she got the Vanguard Award. She got the Video Vanguard Award, and she deserved it. So they created a narrative around it. Not that she didn't deserve it or she did, whether you're a fan of hers or not. I think it's like the story that really encapsulates it. So to me, that's how I look at it. Maybe that's kind of boring, but and I think with Bad Bunny, like he's like good for him. Like, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's like if you think it's hot and you think it's sincere and you think he meant to make a statement that was, you know, for the gay community, then that's what you think. If you think he's queer baiting and he just wants your money and everything, you know, so, but I think it comes down to just your heart, where your individual taste lies.
Yes, and excuse me, and if it feels authentic enough, because that's usually what I go for. It could be like money and whatever, but it always has to come from a place of authenticity. But I know you mentioned the A&E situation. Was that the Court Night Live thing?
Correct. Yep. That's
we're gonna get into that in a second, but because yeah, it kind of ties in with what's going on with the show. So name one person you haven't collaborated with yet, but would love to in the future.
Well, I mean, if it's that open-ended, I would say Lady Gaga, and I say it not because it's Lady Gaga, but because it's special to me because my mom loved Lady Gaga before she passed, and she always wanted me to work with her, and she always wanted me to write her a letter to tell me, and it was the sweetest thing. I was like, Mom, Lady Gaga's gonna read my letter, like handwritten. But so for that moment alone, that like thing alone, I know she would want that. You know, I would say Gaga, and I think Gaga is just, you know, at the pinnacle of talent, you know, for her music and acting too. I think she's amazing. You know, and film wise, acting wise, I would love to work with Ryan Murphy. I think like on the project, that would be unbelievable because he's just like the pinnacle of filmmaking too to me, you know, and storytelling.
Agreed. He definitely pushes the genre, the boundaries when it comes to queer entertainment. So I definitely agree that he would be somebody to definitely work with, especially all the content stuff he's creating. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now I know you did mention that you kind of put music and stuff behind, and we were talking about how you transition into TV and producing, that sort of thing, which I always think is like the future anyway. Like that's a smart thing to do, in my opinion, for a lot of people. It's something I'm definitely trying to get into as well. That's the next chapter, you know, with this show. So tell the audience about The Dish and how that whole situation came about.
Well, you know, when the pandemic happened, like in 2020, I kind of, you know, had to pivot. I had gigs that I literally had canceled, and it was, what do I do now? So I started doing, I'd always had a YouTube presence. Like I was with the World of Wonder Network when they were doing it, and I interviewed the red carpets, and it was a lot of fun, but I never took it like as a full-time job or took it seriously. And then when that happened in 2020, I started investing my time into, okay, I can't do music right now. What else can I do? And I really found this love of content creation. So I started this YouTube channel, and I you know, gathered sort of friends in the YouTube sphere. And one of these people that I gravitated towards was Cynthia Ann Beaumont, who is this very just sort of wacky, you know, as much as I'm wacky figure on YouTube. She had this story where she had a husband and she was a widow, and she had all this money she came into supposedly, and kind of we developed this whole storyline, and she was fighting with people on YouTube, and it became this weekly Friday night show that hundreds of people were tuning into. So I was like, wow, this is really exciting and fun. So, you know, fast forward to March of this year, I reached out to a streaming network. It was a gay streaming network, and I was like, would you be interested in this? And they were interested in looking at it, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, a network is interested in this from what I created off YouTube, and it just lit a fire under my butt. And I was like, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to get this on TV. And I literally took the content I had created on YouTube, and I retrofitted, went back, edited it all by hand, and created this whole story, and involved all the Drag Race girls, you know, to be part of it, and packaged it together. And sure enough, it got on Apple TV and Vudu, which is where we are right now for the first part, we should say, because there's 5 parts.
And even though I know like the first part came out today, when can everybody expect to see future the next 4 parts?
Part 2 is actually in what they call QC now, where they kind of review the files and everything, and then it goes off to the different platforms. So it's kind of it's gonna depend on who takes the part 2. Then there are a few places we can place it, but you know, there obviously are partners and places we want to see it. So kind of the long and short answer is it's going to be a few months from the time it's accepted in their QC. So probably later this year, definitely, I'm hoping by the holidays, part 2 will be out. And that has Detox, that has Tammy Brown, that has Stacey Lane Matthews, Tan Mom's in it. So the Mama June, everybody's back. It's going to be a really good, solid feature. And then hoping the rest of them will come out quicker, probably in 2023, like early 2023. But it really depends on people supporting this, and kind of, you know, it's got to grow legs, because as much and great and wonderful thing as we can do, you know, like if people don't watch it, and this goes back to exactly your point before, Chris, you were saying this, if you don't support queer artists, you don't show up, like this kind of entertainment is only going to be given to you by allies. You're not going to get it from authentic queer production studios and companies and actors and talent. You know, so if people aren't sharing and spreading the love as much as they are for Gaga, as they are for The Dish, regardless if it's part of my thing or not, you know, we got to support each other, you know, and I love doing that for other people. So I hope people can really rally around it for that cause, because if you've seen it, and there are political statements that are made in it, you know, as stupid and silly as there is a method to all of it. And like, if you really dissect it, you can kind of figure that out.
Absolutely. And I've been screaming this from the rooftops, you know, since forever. That's why I decided to create what I've created. So it's like I give a platform and a voice to artists within our community who are creating content, musicians, actors, filmmakers, even such people such as yourself, like this interview we're doing now, it's like we need to bring awareness to people who are creating content and support each other, so that way, you know, that's the stuff can get out there. Because one of the things I've always been griping about is that, you know what, there's so many ideas that I have, and I think I even talked to you in private about a reality competition idea that I have, still do. There's something similar that already exists. They beat me to it, but I already had the idea for a couple of years.
But see, that's not fair. That's what frustrates me, Chris, is like, if I had the money and the means, I could have said at that moment, I'm sure I would have been like, let's develop this or something. But so that's why it comes down to the bigger, we've got to support gay artists. But sorry to interrupt, but that's exactly.
No, I totally agree. So basically, you know, trying to get that off the ground, and that's something I'm going to be not trying to do it to not. There is no try. That's what Gil always says. So, so getting that off the ground, this idea and stuff are going. I'm thinking within the next 2 years, I'm going to make this happen by hook and by crook. If I have to sell my ass, no, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that. I can't. We're all whores to a degree, as they say in Showgirls.
Showgirls, right? The greatest movie of all time.
That part. So before we get to any more questions, let's roll a clip of the dish.
Okay.
No surprises, Mama June signed on to be their executive producer. Right away, she had an idea for a segment she wanted to film for the show.
The girls' grandparents had chickens, and one of them pecked pumpkin, so they got ring neck.
They almost went for pumpkin.
Yes.
They thought she was a pumpkin.
Her grandfather literally went out there and butchered it.
Yeah.
Nana made chicken dumplings that night, and I was like,
right. I would too.
I was like, what is she talking about? She kept talking about chicken dumplings. But anyway, so speaking of Mama June, I know that she is a producer, or should I say executive producer, of The Dish along with you. You two wound up getting into a little kerfluffle, and TMZ, a bunch of other tabloids, and even, well, not even tabloid. People magazine is not considered a tabloid. They talk real entertainment news. Yeah, but you know, the story's picked up by a lot of the mainstream papers and trades, I should say, where she actually took you to court on A&E on a show called Court Night Live, and she tried to sue you for $5K, and that's the Judge Mathis show. Can you tell us what had happened and how did you get there? How did you get there?
So, okay, I'm sorry. I'm texting my, getting all these texts from actually Tammy's texting me from the show. Basically what happened was, and you didn't kind of see this on A&E because it was kind of so just for time, I guess. And that judge was just absolutely awful, atrocious, and horrible. But June stayed here for a few weeks back earlier this year. And, you know, she was kind of living here or whatever while she was taking care of some personal stuff. So every day, you know, she would be in this studio right here. We would kind of be working. And, you know, she would actually be in this chair right here where we film some of the stuff. And she
come on, green screen.
And then I would come in and work on my stuff here at the computer. So we would talk and she would give me notes, and then she got invested in it. And, you know, we were friends. Like, she would come in and she would help me with, you know, that would look good there, you know, this. And she knew what she was talking about because she's from reality TV. So she, you know, this needs a confessional, and there's a call on the flies. Like, she taught me the terms of everything. So we really developed this cool relationship where she was kind of doing her stuff. I was helping with her, and she was kind of helping me with the executive producing. So at the end of the day, I think what it just came down to was a miscommunication. Like, she didn't get the contract, or she didn't want to sign the contract. She wanted more money, which she could have just told me. But otherwise, you know, if she had told me, then we wouldn't have had to go on TV and had the case. So, you know, it worked out in the end. You know, I still feel like there's a little bit of friction between me and her there because of what happened. But I'm hoping if the show is successful, we'll just move beyond it. That's what I say, you know. So TBD, we'll see what happens. She was yesterday on TikTok.
She won't buy money. She won't show money. Wait, what happened?
She was on yesterday. She was on TikTok promoting it. So, so I was thankful for that. But, I want her to promote it more and stuff. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how she responds. But yeah, my money, your money. I want her money. I have no money. That's why I have no money. So.
Yeah, look, I can relate. The rent's due, bitch. Well, I know for me this week. But anyway, so what have you learned about yourself since working on this project?
I really learned how to just have fun. Like, I think a lot of times people watch the TV shows. Like if you're big fans, I'm sure a lot of your viewers are of Drag Race or whatever, and you've seen the shows and you see how silly and funny it can be. Like, imagine doing that, but being able to do it on your own terms and like not that I would love to be on Drag Race. I just can't do drag, but I think it's so much fun to just create characters and have fun, and that's really what I've learned. Like just have fun with yourself, and that's really, it's like, it sounds so stupid, I guess, because people say it that same way, like love yourself, but really it's more about like have fun with yourself, entertain yourself. Remember, there's somebody inside you as a being that needs entertainment, and you can do that for yourself by allowing yourself to be authentic and funny.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about Drag Race too. It was like, yeah, a lot of people that watch the show do watch Drag Race. I even had a show at one point. Well, it's coming back, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I had a panel show. I have a panel show called Drinks and Drag. So it's like one of my really good friends, Lindsay Aguilera, who I'm actually doing her show this week. Side, shameless self-promotion. I am doing her show this week, so definitely, guys, check her that out on her Instagram this Thursday. I'm gonna do the promotions, all this stuff, but I'm just throwing that in there. But yeah, so I love Drag Race. I love all things drag. I've been supporting drag artists since forever. Growing up in New York, being exposed to that sort of world. So, and my dream would be to at least be a judge on Drag Race, or I even have an idea for a competition series in the in that whole wheelhouse of Drag Race. That I think that we do need different iterations of drag, not just Drag Race being the only show. And Dragula, that's coming back. So yeah. So so now back to more questions for you. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not doing anything, with work?
It's fun. Well, actually, I live in Florida now, so I love going to Universal Studios with my partner. And it's really special to me because that was my spot with my mom before she passed away. So at first I was like very sad to go there and I couldn't handle it. But then I realized it was a place of happiness where we're happy together. So now I love it. I love going as many weekends. We have the annual pass and we're, always in Orlando looking for new restaurants and fun things. So I'm kind of an action girl, but I'm not really a partier. Like, I don't really like to go out. Like, I'm home by midnight now, but I guess thus is middle age. So, but I love the just having fun. We're going to Maine in a week. We're taking a trip up to there. So that definitely keeps me sane and out of the craziness of the reality TV world.
Oh yeah, I only do clubs and that sort of thing if it's work related.
Yeah,
it's like the partying thing. It's like, yeah, been there, done that. Wore the t-shirt. It gets real old real quick. And plus the hangovers aren't cute when you're in your 40s. So in regards of, you said you are partnered. So, but we could play a little game. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know who it is? I know who to say now. Cause I always say, what? I always think of people and then I forget when people ask me this question, but I remember, and I'm going to say it's Neve from Catfish.
Oh. I know people are like, I would never say that, but you would have known he's actually attractive. I always thought he was cute, and he's hairy. And, I like a little chest hair. So
I don't. That's what's weird about this. I'm not really a huge, big, hairy chest hair fan.
You don't like a hairy Jewish man?
Yeah, he's like not my normal type, which is weird why I'm so attracted to him. But I love that I'm attracted to him because I'm attracted to every type, but it's just not normally like I usually, as far as hairy up there, like I like guys that are more, I guess, groomed. But he's just going wild, and I'm living for it.
Okay, so if you weren't in entertainment, what would you be doing?
Probably like I don't know, like be a teacher maybe, or when I was younger I wanted to do hair. I don't like be a hairdresser. I don't know.
This is my hair. I don't wear wigs.
This is a wig right now. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. Or maybe I would be a writer. Like I love writing stories. So if I could still be a writer, and I don't have to be famous. Like I love telling stories. So maybe that.
Yeah, I literally thought the same thing. I was like, you know what? If I wasn't doing entertainment or those, I probably would be a teacher. Now, so what do you have? What advice would you have for someone who would want to do what you're doing, like creating content or being an artist, that sort of thing?
I would say it's so easy these days. Like growing up in the 90s, like trying to break out was so difficult because you were only limited to, I mean, computers really didn't exist, the internet didn't exist. So today it's so easy for someone to have their voice heard and their art seen. It's infinitely more easier and harder at the same time, because now you're in a sea of people trying to compete, but you can post something on YouTube and go viral overnight. So don't think because you are working so hard and nothing's coming, don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep pushing forward, because you don't know, the best things could be ahead and probably are ahead for you. With myself, it was such a struggle to get this to TV, the dish, because it was like, there's so many times I wanted to give up, just like, oh, I'm not worth it. It's not going to happen. And then you see it and it's just, it forges you in the fire, I think. So that process of disappointment and rejection and nobody's watching me, that's what makes you stronger. And that's what will fuel you. Because if you had it handed to you, you're not going to work for it. Think about it that way.
So if you had the opportunity to visit your former self, your younger self, I should say, what advice would you give a younger Adam?
Do not appeal to the mass, what you think the masses want. Don't do the shocking things. Don't try to just get attention, me. Put out something. You have such a light inside of you. And we all have this, and we need to find it, and that's what we need to nourish, and that's what I wish I knew earlier. That was always there. I think I just kind of masqueraded with the jester's mask on, doing all this crazy stuff. But the funniness and the making people laugh, and find out, I would have told myself, your core of what you do, Adam, is you make people smile and laugh, and you bring joy to their lives. That's what you do. So always remember that, and you always have the power to do that. So.
Some great advice. So I know you gotta go because you have another segment that you're gonna be doing with Dr. Miami. I was like, Dr. Miami. But before we go, I got 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was something I'm gonna talk about it after the interview. But since I have you here, and I know you and I both share a sign. I'm a Virgo, you're a Virgo. My birthday is actually on Friday, and yours is the 21st.
Yes.
Which is actually one of my best friend's birthdays as well. My brother's is the day before. That's hilarious.
A lot of people have that birthday.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people are September 20th. But there was a story that came out from Heather Morris from Glee, who revealed that Jennifer Lopez had a dance audition, and a lot of people were dancing, this and the other, trying to get a book with her. And then when they made it to the last round, she was like, "Who in here is Virgos?" This is according to Heather Morris. I made the news, I just reported. So then a bunch of people raised their hands. She whispered to the assistant, and the assistant was like, "Oh, thank you all for coming." The Virgos basically got rid of all of them. So now my theory, because I'm gonna talk about it, is that she was married to one, for Mark Anthony with the twins and all other stuff, and he probably put her through it because these Leos, y'all like to control us if y'all can. So what do you have to say about someone like a J-Lo who has an issue with Virgos? How dare you, bitch? That's what I say. But thoughts?
What is J-Lo? Is she a Virgo or is she not a Virgo?
No, she's a Leo.
Oh, she's a Leo. So here's my thing on Miss J-Lo. She has no problem when she's on the TV hawking her vitamin gummies. I don't want to say the names. I don't want to give her the credit for it because I also hawk them myself for a percentage. But Miss J-Lo has no problem taking the money from the Virgos of all the people she's selling her products to and her music to. So she can, I think all the Virgos should just not buy anything Jennifer Lopez sells or makes anymore. That's my hot take on it. Myself, maybe because I'm a Virgo and you're a Virgo. So I think we should ban Jennifer Lopez and see when 1/12 of her income tanks, how she feels about that.
And maybe Mark Anthony should start paying child support. Well, I don't even know if he pays child support. Stop paying that bitch money. But anyway, okay. So final question. Share something about yourself that you have never shared with any other interviewer.
When I was on the set of a TV show once, with it was years ago. It was Comedy Central actually. I was doing extra. It was like extra work or background work, and it was with Amy Poehler, who people know her from Mean Girls. She was the mom and stuff like that. She rubbed barbecue sauce all over my body because I was playing this waiter. It's very similar to The Dish, actually, in this crazy skit. Maybe I think not that it's inspired by it, but crazy skit where I played this waiter and there's a chicken and there was ice cream. Anyway, she rubbed barbecue sauce all over me, so I got felt up by Amy Poehler on the set of a show. That's the tea. The hot tea.
You got molested by Amy Poehler.
I got molested by Amy Poehler, but I loved it.
I was like, when wait. Did she host People's Choice, one of them damn awards?
She did. How come I
Tina Fey?
did a People's Choice Award? No, no, they both did together. You're right. She's pretty famous. I need to get her on The Dish.
Yeah, she'll definitely get into that. Speaking of which, before we let you go, promote one more again where people can see The Dish.
The Dish is available on, and it's hashtag The Dish, because I know a lot of the press is even picking it up as The Dish, and there's already a show called that. But you have to make sure you use that hashtag. It's hashtag The Dish, one word, and it is available on Apple TV and Vudu. So if you have Apple or any iPhone, just go on your phone. It's already there. You don't need to have a subscription. You can go into the Apple TV app, just search for it, and it'll be there. If you go into Vudu, you can do the same thing, and it's VUDU. That's for the non-iOS people. So check it out on there, on both those streaming apps. And stay tuned. We'll be announcing where there's going to be more soon. We just can't say them yet, but that's where you can find it for now.
Yes, everybody, definitely check out hashtag The Dish. It's kind of like you got to say, like, they, them, like when I said they, them, that show, it's they slash them.
Slash them, yeah.
Hashtag The Dish.
The Dish,
so once
exactly.
again, thank you, Adam, for coming on and promoting your show. Definitely, guys, check it out, check it out, check it out. Be sure to, you definitely don't want to miss hashtag The Dish, which he just say is on Apple TV and Vudu. So thank you for stopping by, and down the road, hopefully we can do yet another interview. This interview was cute. I actually had a great time. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I will be talking about J-Lo, giving my full opinion, because I know you got to go. So yes, don't go away. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We'll be right back with more on the line. Thank you, Adam.
No surprises, Mama June signed on to be their executive producer. Right away, she had an idea for a segment she wanted to film for the show.
The girls' grandparents had chickens, and one of them pecked pumpkin, so they got ring neck.
They almost went for pumpkin.
Yes.
They thought she was a pumpkin.
Her grandfather literally went out there and butchered it.
Yeah.
Nana made chicken dumplings that night, and I was like,
Right. I would too.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and I just wanted to come online for a second to put you guys on to a new product that was sent to me from some friends of mine. So, I'm all about trying to help out and support and endorse small businesses if, it's on point. And, for me, A lot of people may not know this, but as a person of color, I've always had an issue trying to find really good hair products for someone such as myself. So then when a friend of mine came and approached me with these products, I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. Let me try it out and see what's good. And I have to say that when he sent it to me, I'm pretty much pleased with what's going on. So there's this business called Joa's Paradise, and they sent me a package of 4 different hair products. So the ones I did try this morning before I did this video, I did the pumpkin ginger spice. This is a product that I think a lot of people should try. It's definitely worth the money. It is affordable, and it's also, you know, everything is pretty good for the hair. Like, there's no animal products and all that stuff in there, so that's what I love about it. So if you guys are interested in checking them out, definitely head over to shopjozparadise.com. That's JOOZ paradise.com. So definitely try that if you get a chance.
Damaged, dull, broken hair with no bounce or shine. Bring your hair back to life with Jo's Paradise hair care products. Jo's is fortified with all natural ingredients that will give you that growth, shine, body, and fullness that your hair needs. Known to improve any type of hair in any style and bring it back to life. Jo's Paradise will never let you down. Jo's Paradise, our products were made to deliver.
Tyler Perry movie without telling me the name of it.
Tonight, I give you Paris in springtime.
Knock my dog Boosie.
2. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move.
Hey, we're back. Child, I just heard the news that the baby's concert was just canceled due to low sales. That'll teach you being a damn problematic ass rapper. But anyway, welcome back to On the Line. I also want to thank Adam Barta once again for stopping by to promote #TheDish. Such a great interview. I don't know. I've always kind of shied away from doing interviews because I always felt like they always feel a little contrived. It's like, I don't really get that excited about it. But then it's funny because once I do them, then I was like, ooh, this is fun. So maybe I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can start doing more interviews in the future. And I don't want to be holding about, okay, well, if you do interviews with people, that it's sort of like, it gets into this. I know a lot of content creators get a little nervous about doing interviews with people because then should a crazy story about them come out, then it's like, well, I can't really talk about it because we're friends, or they want to try to use you You know, to be kind of like, I don't want to try to be biased. At the end of the day, when I do a lot of these shows, I do it because I love doing, like, talking about entertainment and all those other things, but also, and thank you for those of you who watched and, you know, talking about how much they liked the interview, and even production said it was a good interview. So thank you, because I work hard on them damn questions. So, yeah, so I'm thinking I'm in the future, I'm gonna basically try to push for more interviews. I'm gonna try to see if I can get, because, you know, Boomer Banks has that new show coming out, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get him and Max Connor on. It'd be good if I can get some porn stars on here too, right? Because we love talking about dick. But anyway, welcome back to the show. So let's get into this story, because I actually want to finish before like we could do like a 90-minute episode, since we're already got 15 minutes left. So Glee actress Heather Morris is talking about Jennifer Lopez and spilling the tea and saying that on the floor singer once cut dancers from an audition because of their zodiac sign. Now, we mentioned this briefly when I was talking to Adam during #TheDish, but I want to elaborate on it a little bit more and give my full opinion. Now, Morris, who played Britney on the hit show and is also a professional dancer, says she was auditioning for a J-Lo project when the singer came in, asked if there were any Virgos present, and promptly sent them packing. Now, La Lopez, a Leo, came in the very last part of it to see the dancers that were left and met everybody, says Morris, who is an Aquarius. She told Justin Martindale's Just Saying podcast. This is what she revealed in the podcast. I wasn't there, so this is hearsay, but she walks into the room and says, "Thank you so much. You guys have worked so hard. By a show of hands, are there any Virgos in the room? Can you just raise your hand?" After a brief hushed back and forth with her assistant, Lopez then allegedly turned to the group and said, "Thank you so much for coming." And they had to leave after spending all day auditioning for J-Lo. Morris continued after emphasizing that despite it being hearsay, it was still true. When one person says something could be true, when multiple people say something, that's kind of the rule. When multiple people tell the story, it's kind of like, oh, that happened. So, I mean, the funny thing is, has people talked about this before? Because that was the first time I've actually heard people mention, okay, I'm about to turn this damn Apple Watch on. This shit is annoying me. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, like the clip of the podcast, and people said, even several users commented saying things like, "Too bad, because the best dancers I know are Virgo. She didn't want to be upstage, clearly." Others didn't find the allegation so funny. One user said, "This is what it's like in the industry, though, just not that blatant and obvious," while others criticized Lopez. It says the question of a zodiac-related, sign-related discrimination came up in 2019 after a post looking for roommates went viral for refusing Capricorns, people born between December 22nd and 19th of January. First of all, my mother and my sister are Capricorns. I know a lot of Capricorns, so you got a problem with Capricorns, that's a you thing. So say our main goal was to keep things egalitarian without anyone being in charge or doming the household. So people, I know there are people. Oh, hey, Instagram, we live on Instagram, by the way. I find that weird that there are people who literally surround their, like, work their entire life around signs. I don't pay attention to that shit. Only thing I pay attention to is my own damn sign. Like, when people ask, which sign do you get along with? I don't know. I don't pay attention. I can't remember what your sign is 5 minutes ago. So I don't care about all that. I know a lot of people get really invested in astrology and all this other crap. All I know is when I meet people face to face, I feel like who I'm compatible with. Most of the people that I'm usually around that I'm cool with always turn out to be, okay, Capricorns I'm cool with because my mother's sister Capricorns. I know a lot of people, friends of mine are Capricorns. I have a lot of Virgo friends. I got a lot of Leo friends. I know some people say that, I even heard a story that Madonna doesn't like working with Scorpios. And that was the reason why she didn't work with David Guetta on one of her albums. I believe that. I actually saw, sidebar, that's the other show, but sidebar, we're going to use it for this one. I did hear something other that Madonna is working on a new album, and she's talking about she can't wait to make people dance again. So I think that she might be doing another dance record. I hope so. She's back with Warner Brothers. And plus, we got the Finally Enough Love, the 50 number ones, which is doing big numbers around the world, by the way. So I think she is going to be working on the music. But anyway, I heard she doesn't like working with Scorpio. Some people are like that. Like, it's all about compatibility. And some people feel like, I don't want to live or work with this specific sign because I'm a dominating or probably a bossy type of personality. My personality is very domineering, and you don't want to clash with someone who has a similar personality because neither one's going to let up. So some people get like that. I don't pay attention to any of that. All I know is when I'm in a room with somebody and I feel that what the chemistry is, then it's like, okay, let's work together. Or if we butt heads, then we don't. But my theory on this whole thing, because I immediately remembered, like I knew, I always know my Virgos. Keke Palmer's a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. We already saw Adam Barta's a Virgo. Keanu Reeves and Salma Hayek, they share a birthday with me, September 2nd. Their birthday is on Friday, along with mine. What else? Yeah, there's a lot of Virgos. Beyonce's a Virgo. Her birthday's on Sunday. Pink's a Virgo. Taraji P. Henson's a Virgo. Idris Elba's a Virgo. Like, there's so many people out here who y'all love, y'all faves are Virgos. And I know y'all love me. So, a lot of us are real creative, real business and, oriented. Like, when it comes to the work, we're focused. So maybe J-Lo can't take that. That's why she married what she got with. She wants somebody that she can control. And that's why she's no longer with Mark Anthony. And that's why she's with Ben Affleck. Because to me, child, I've been seeing the pictures of Ben Affleck. He looked like he is just worn out. I don't know what drugs she taking, but J-Lo just be having that energy, which she's always on point and looking youthful, while Ben be out here looking like he just needs to be put in a cryogenic chamber and just to go sleep for like a decade, and then be brought out and then he'll have a full-fledged, body of energy. But yeah, I just feel like this is silly. I hope it's not true, but there's a lot of dumb things that a lot of celebrities abide by in this business, so I would not be surprised if this is true. And like I said before, Mark Anthony is a Virgo, so whatever it was, I know. While we are very much about trying to help people be their better selves with the work, because I'm sure that her being married to him, he pushed her to step it up in regards of like a singer, because everybody knows Mark can sing the house down. We already heard the reeds in the shade towards J-Lo singing, still do. But I will say that she has worked hard and she has improved on the vocals, and I believe that maybe Mark had been I won't say maybe. I really feel that Mark has been a huge influence on her stepping her pussy up in regards of the live singing and the showmanship and all that stuff. Because Mark definitely, he definitely tears, he sells out concerts. He definitely knows how to, with the stage presence and performing, because he does that. She started doing that later on in her career because she was focused on the acting and putting out music, but wasn't really doing the whole touring thing till later in life. So I do feel like Mark Anthony pushed her to, get better with her singing and take it more seriously and not just be relying on studio tricks and other people's vocals and turning the background, vocal up, the backing track higher to overshadow her actual singing. So I will say she has definitely stepped her pussy up in regards to the singing. Now, I don't know. I will admit that sometimes we Virgos, we could be a little passive aggressive. We can be a little shady without we give backhanded compliments. A lot of times we'll say something and you'll be like, was that a read? Like, we do. We're very good at the shade, throwing daggers, giving a little Venetian blind reads and shades and things. Like, we can be a little, it's constructive criticism, but I think a lot of times our delivery could be a little harsh and it can probably break down people's self-esteem. We do have the ability to suck the air out of the room when we walk in it. Like, I know a lot of times I have felt that my energy is so powerful that it shifts the energy and the feeling of the room. I have done that, positive and negative. So I will admit when my son we have our faults, but at the same time we are a good bunch, and I make no qualms about who I am. I am who I am. So, like I said, I hope it's not true, but it sounds thoroughly entertaining. I'm entertained by the shade. And I'm entertained by this story. So, I don't know. I guess I ain't got no more to say about this damn story. It is what it is. Shout out to J-Lo. I hope it's not true, but if it is, bitch, I ain't supporting your shit no more because you got a problem with me, apparently. So anyway, we're at the end of the program. So thank you all for tuning in to this special episode of On the Line. As far as Chris Avalon Unfiltered goes, I'm thinking mid-September we'll probably be back. Not the week of the 10th. I'm thinking, I can't think off the top of my head. I'm thinking most likely the week, when is the 17th? I'm thinking around that weekend. So I know like the 9th is a Friday. Yeah, I think I'm thinking September 17th, mid-September, around that time. We'll probably be coming back with an all-new season of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. There's not a lot of stuff going on. It's a little slow. It's a little dry out right now in regards of what's going on in celebrity entertainment. If y'all need to get the tea, definitely check me out on all my social media platforms that you see at the bottom, as well as be sure to follow me over at chrisavalon.com. That's the entertainment website, where you will get all the latest news, gossip, music artists, whoever's releasing new music videos, out artists, mainstream artists, underground artists, you name it, they're there. And all the celebrity tea until we come back and do an actual show. So yeah, we're not going to come back with the show until, like I said, mid-September. So that way we give enough time for some stuff to actually be going on in entertainment, because this is like a dry month right now for what's going on. Ain't nothing really going on. So anyway, once again, thank you all for watching this fabulous episode, and until next time, ciao, darlings. Also, once again, thank you, Adam Barta, for stopping by. Ciao. See you next time. Love you all. Love you all. Love you for watching.
This is for faggots.